see if I get in here. What's up, everybody? Greg the Bee Guy here. Along with, wait, let me start that over. Start that over. 3, 2, 1. What's up, everybody? Greg the Bee Guy here, along with Brian, and we are on another bee call. We got called from the city to remove the bees from this fallen down tree. We had a storm here last week. This tree collapsed and it crushed like a water fountain and some other stuff. And they have to get this tree out of here. So we have to get that beehive out of this tree so that their workers can come up here and take care of this tree. So we're gonna go ahead and cut this up a little bit. We're gonna canoe it out and we're gonna try to get this queen out of here, and we're gonna try to get this hive taken back to our apiary. So stay with us. Gonna see some cool stuff tonight with Greg and Brian from Angry Bees Farms and Apiaries working on this beehive. And let's get after this, guys. All right, guys, so me and Brian were here out at this log. We canoed it out, and if you're a new beekeeper out there, just a little word of advice: don't do falling down trees. They're not worth what you get out of them. But anyway, so we actually found the queen in this nightmare of a nest. She is now in the queen cup that is right there, and we are going to go ahead and brush some of these bees down in. Obviously, they will, go ahead, Brian. Get a nice little light brushing of these bees. They're pretty docile. We only smoked them one time, so they're really not that aggressive, which is nice, being that we came from a call just 20 minutes ago where we both got stung a couple times, but that's okay. That's what we signed up for. So we put some brood and some resources on some rubber bands, and we put them down inside our nook box here. And we're gonna go ahead and just try to get as many bees out of this hive as we can. We're gonna go ahead and then let them find that queen in there. We're gonna hang around for 10 or 15 minutes, let them find that queen, and then we're gonna go ahead and shut it up for the night, and we're gonna take it back to the apiary. Okay, guys, so if you look at the tree, this is what we did. We came in, we made 2 horizontal cuts, and then we just kind of canoed it out so that we could access the hive. We did find the queen. She was on this piece of honeycomb right here. So what we're going to do is we're going to take one of our empty frames and we're going to kind of maneuver this in here the best we can. Let me get my, and then we're going to go ahead and add that to the queen. So here's how we do that. So we basically cut it to size. On the end of here, it's only, you basically just have some resources there, so that's not a big deal. We're gonna cut that to size, real nice like that. We're not taking that piece of wood. Then we take some rubber bands. I like to double my rubber bands up, just so they're a little bit heavier. And you wanna run them in there like that. And that's gonna give you a nice foundation. And what the bees will do is the bees will actually go ahead and they will actually attach this to this frame. Like that. Maybe put 2 more on here just to get on this end here. Like this. Put that like that. And then they will actually attach that right to their frame, and we will put them in here, and we are going to put them actually right next to the queen. Put them in there like that. Put the queen back in there. like so. All right, and we're gonna try to get more of these bees into this box and a little bit more of this comb into this box. The last part of this adventure with the canoe tree in the city park is we're gonna take our bee vac here, and we're gonna bee vac as many of these bees as we can. We're gonna take everything back to the apiary, and then we're gonna dump the vac into the nook. That way we can have 90% of this colony in that nook. Now this bee vac is really not specially made. We kind of made it. It won't hurt the bees. It just basically sucks them into here with as low vacuum as possible, and then they're okay in this box until we are ready to take them back. So here we go. Hopefully. All right, well, good evening, everybody. We're back up here at the apiary after a long day of bee calls today. So we had 2 fallen tree bee calls. We also had 2 swarms, and we also got a cutout call. So it's been a pretty long day here. We're gonna have the, I always like to show you guys the final destination of the bee calls that we do. Especially on a night like tonight is an absolutely gorgeous night in the apiary tonight. And it is just really awesome to come up to the apiary on nights like this and just watch the bees doing bee stuff. And it's a really good feeling after a long day of bee calls, and especially like I was saying in these videos here, you know, when you have these trees, I would definitely not recommend if you're a beginner beekeeper or even a beekeeper that's been doing this a couple years, the fallen trees are really kind of hard to deal with because there's just so much involved, and you kind of get not a lot of payoff out of them. So, you know, my recommendation would be to stick to doing, you know, swarms and nooks and stuff like that, and don't really worry too much about some of these calls you're going to get that are going to be in these fallen down trees, because by the time you know, go out there and you get your chainsaw going and everything else, it really turns into a situation where if you can find the queen and salvage the hive, it's sometimes not worth it. So tonight we're just going to go ahead and put the our nook that we got today from the canoe tree number 1. Canoe tree number 2 will be here later on. We got that in another truck, and then we also have another swarm to go pick up yet. It is 7 o'clock, so we have to go pick up our other swarm and the other canoe tree, and then we'll go ahead and get all that done for tonight. So I'm going to go ahead and get the nook here. We're going to bring the bee vac in, and we're going to dump the bee vac into the nook, and that will end up being our canoe tree hive, and then we will leave it go for a week and a half, and then we will move them into a regular 10 frame hive. Okay guys, so here's our nook. It came from the park canoe tree, and then we're gonna put that right there. We're gonna grab our bee vac. And here's our bee vac, and as you guys can see, I hope you can see that okay, that the girls are ready to get out of this vacuum. So as we said, when we vacuumed them up, it doesn't really hurt them. It doesn't really hurt them. It doesn't hurt them at all. And all it does is basically keep them in there. It kind of acts like a little bit of a temporary hive until we can get this back. We're going to dump these girls into that nook. We are going to use a little bit of smoke just to keep them calm, and then we're going to go ahead and seal it up, and we're going to be done for the night. And we're going to go pick up our 2 swarms and our other canoe, and then we'll be good to go. Okay guys, so we got the smoker all fired up, ready to go. put our protective equipment on, because these girls are probably not going to be real happy. Get a little nice smoke going there. All right, I'm going to go ahead and give these girls a little bit of smoke just to calm them down. Come on. There we go. Man, sometimes a smoker takes a minute to get going. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and smoke these girls. And we are going to go ahead and let the queen out of the clip once we get these other girls in there. Let's go ahead and just give them a quick blast of smoke just to keep them calm. And we're going to go ahead and give this a quick shake. And that's it. The bee vac is empty. A little bit. We've got some girls up top here. Come on, girls. All right. That's it for the bee vac. And we're going to go ahead and let the queen out of the queen clip. Make sure she's out of there. She is. Yep, she's out of there. Okay, let's move these frames over a little bit. Give these girls a little smoke just so we don't kill any of them on the sides. Okay, and that's it, guys. That is the whole journey from falling down tree in a park to their new home, and then they'll be put into a regular 10-frame deep hive next week. 4 or 5 days, something like that, depending on if it rains a little bit or something. And we'll get them in a real nice hive, and they'll be part of our apiary. All right, guys. Well, for a beautiful night here at Angry Bees Farms and Apiaries, Greg the Bee Guy signing off.